Once upon a time, somewhere in Vietnam, a young guy said,
Anh đi nhậu được không?
Không.
Cho anh hôn một cái nhá.
Không.
Em dỗi anh à?
không.
Understanding women can be quite perplexing. Why, oh my god, it's so incomprehensible that no means no, and sometimes it's not no, both no and not no at the same times. Oh la la, what is this?
Welcome to the intriguing world of semiotics. In our journey today, we'll uncover the captivating language of signs. Our adventure commences in ancient Egypt, a civilization that ingeniously used hieroglyphs, the forebears of modern emojis, you might say. Each symbol held a hidden message, like ancient text messages carved in stone. Time flew, and signs were omnipresent. People were graced with writings, signs, and sounds, or anything in which they wanted to express a certain message or meaning. Life was peppered with signs, but it wasn't until the 19th century that a formal science to study their meanings was born by Saussure and Peirce. Along came Swiss linguist Ferdinand de Saussure, who decided to dive into the sign game with his own set of rules. He introduced the concept of the signifier and the signified. In other words, he was the only one who said that the word tree was just a bunch of letters that magically made you think of, well, a tree. But then, along came the American philosopher Charles Sanders Peirce, who decided to add a twist to the sign game. He didn't want to start with words. He wanted to talk about signs in life. Peirce introduced the representment, which is like the signifier's cooler sibling. From it, we get the object, which means the commonly conventional meaning, and the interpretant, meaning created in mind. Picture this, two drivers. Both see a red light. Red light means stop. Seems simple, right? Well, not so fast. A stops, but B goes straight because there are no police standing there. Same sign, same meaning, different interpretations. Welcome to the captivating world of semiotics. And now, after centuries of sign language gymnastics, we find ourselves in the realm of semiotics, where Saussure and Peirce's legacy lives on. Thanks to them, researchers built a complex framework to understand these mysterious symbols. So, hold on to your bowler hat, science explorers. We're about to dive deep into semiotics models.
Let's get to know what is semiotics. Semiotics is the study of signs and symbols and their use or interpretation. It explores how signs create meaning. In semiotics, a sign is anything that represents or indicates something called the object. A sign isn't necessarily pictorial. For example, if you hear a buzzing sound, it may indicate that there's a bee around. Signs are divided into two parts, signifier and signified. Signifiers are the physical forms of a sign, such as sound, word, or image that create communication, and signified is the concept that a sign refers to. Signifiers can be categorized into three different types of signs, which are icon, index, and symbol, based on how the sign is related to the object. Let's start with icon. An icon directly resembles the object. It shares tangible quality with the object. For example, a painting of a bird is an icon representing a bird. For index, it has an implied association with the object. The sign and object are connected in a logical way. For example, the smell of smoke may indicate that there is a fire nearby. And finally, the symbol. A symbol is not inherently connected to the object, but instead, the connection is a matter of convention within a particular society, because their meanings must be explicitly taught. Symbols are easily misunderstood. Examples of symbols include the male and female image, toilet facilities, although there is no image or presence of a toilet. That's it for the signifiers. Now, let's get to know the signified. Signified can also be divided into three forms, which are denotation, connotation, and mixed. For denotation and connotation, they are not two separate things or signs. There are two aspects or elements of a sign, and the connotative meanings of a word exist together with the denotative meanings. Denotation represents the explicit or referential meaning of a sign, and denotation refers to the literal meaning of a word, which can also be known as the dictionary definition. Connotation represents the various social overtones, cultural implications, or emotional meanings associated with a sign. For example, the name Hollywood connotes such things as glamour, celebrity, and dreams of stardom. But at the same time, the name Hollywood is also indicating an area in Los Angeles widely known as the center of the American movie industry. So how to understand signifier and signified? We have two methods to analyze: discourse analysis and content analysis. Critical discourse analysis or discourse analysis is a research method for studying written or spoken language in relation to its social context. It aims to understand how language is used in real-life situations. And content analysis is a method of analyzing written or spoken language to uncover the underlying themes and messages. Content analysis looks at the content of the communication, such as the words used, the topics discussed, and the overall structure of the communication. Moreover, if you conduct discourse analysis, you might want to focus a bit more on the purposes and effects of different types of language, cultural rules and conventions in communication, how values, beliefs, and assumptions are communicated, how language used relates to its social, political, and historical context. On the other hand, discourse analysis is a common qualitative research method in many humanities and social science disciplines, including linguistics, sociology, psychology, and cultural studies. In content analysis used to analyze any type of communication, including websites, books, magazines, television shows, and many more. In conclusion, content analysis looks at the words used, the topic discussed, on the overall structure of the communication, while discourse analysis focuses more at the relationships between the participants, the cultural and social norms that shape the conversation, and the underlying power dynamics. In addition to methods above, we can also apply intertextuality and paratextuality. Intertextuality is the relationship of one or two more texts which the reader must know in order to understand the work of literature in terms of its overall significance, while paratextuality is the relationship between a text and its accompanying parts that serves to provide it with a context, for example, the titles, the forewords, the notes, or the book cover with a very good illustrations that you might want to see.
Now, let's explore how semiotics shows up in our everyday experiences. First, let's talk about words. Language represents a world of arbitrary symbols, their meanings bestowed through conventions and cultural consensus. Think about happiness. In the dictionary, it's all about being joyful. That is the definition accepted by everyone, and that is the denotation. We don't know what happiness looks like, but when we look at the word happiness, we can understand the message it conveys. But each of us has a different interpretation of the word happiness. For me, happiness is when I get an A in this course. For the pho vendor at the end of the alley, happiness is when they sell out early and can go home to rest. That is the connotation. Happiness will be interpreted differently depending on each person's worldview and experience. Next up, sounds. Here, music and sound effects wield the power to evoke emotional responses grounded in culturally established association. As you listen to this musical piece, contemplate the emotion it elicits. Is it an embodiment of drama, curiosity, or suspense? Your emotional response is the signified, while the music itself functions as a signifier. Then, let's talk about actions. Within the domain of actions, every gesture and movement communicates a message akin to the language of words. Some actions are universally understood, like sign language for the hearing impaired or the symbolic thumbs up for agreement. Sometimes actions are not conventional and are more complex and difficult to explain. Imagine when your lover goes out and closes the door firmly. It can manifest as both a denotation of forceful door closure and a connotation. In your mind, you might think she is angry with you. Is she hungry? Did she encounter something at the company? Did I do anything wrong? Objects have their stories too. Take a look over here. What do you see and what do you think of? You can see that this is a tree with a combination of many green stems. Each stem has many notes, small and long leaves. What you see is a signifier. In the dictionary, bamboo is defined as a giant woody grass that grows chiefly in the tropics, where it is widely cultivated. That's the denotation. However, depending on one's cultural background and understanding, assumes varying connotation. For the Vietnamese, it embodies diligence and unity, while for the Chinese, it represents being honest. A single object, multitudes of meanings. Finally, combination form. A composite sign would be a sign consisting of elements such as words, sounds, acts, and objects. Each of us is also a combination form. When we read someone, we pay a great deal of attention to things related to that person. Their sounds, actions, and stuff tell a story, and each of us will have a different feeling about them. We can see combinations in many other things such as a phone, a billboard, a car, because they include many elements from images, sounds, to words.
So, we all know about the semiotics, its history, its definition, and its forms. But the important question is how we can use semiotics, especially in communication and marketing. The truth is that semiotics plays an important role and has been used frequently in this field. You probably have been exposed to semiotics a lot, but you don't realize it. Briefly, we can see the application of semiotics in communication and marketing through 4 roles. First, semiotics help to express the brain's identity and values. Second, semiotics help to find a balance between globalization and localization. Third, semiotics help to effectively transmit messages. The last one, semiotics help to research and discover the news flow of trend or insight. Let's go with the first one. Semiotics help to express the brand's identity and values. Brand identity is a combination of the visual and experiential elements that make a brand unique. Plays a role in highlighting the brand, making it easily recognizable and creating trust with customers. A strong brand identity creates an emotional connection with the target audience and ensures consistency across all brand strategies. It also allows the brand to expand and introduce new products or services. When a brand wants to position or reposition itself, they often make changes to their identity, like the logo, colors, fonts, tagline, or even using brand ambassadors. By updating these elements, a brand can strategically communicate a new or refined message to this target audience. These modifications aim to align the brand's visual and verbal cues with the desired associations and meanings, enabling consumers to perceive the brand in a different light. This thing is so important that Xiaomi spent 3 years and $300,000 just to curve the corner. A lot of conflicting opinions have been given, but this company leader confirmed that this new logo expresses the change in internal spirit as well as the spirit of the brand. The deliberate use of semiotics is crucial in visual communication, especially when it comes to conveying brand messages through logos or images. By paying attention to the details in the design, brands can effectively convey their intended message. When semiotics is used effectively, it helps consumers easily understand and connect with the meaning behind these visual elements. That is enough for the fairies, and let me bring you to life. We are here in the supermarket and at the dairy section. The example that I want to mention here is Vinamilk. In Vietnam's market, Vinamilk is a well-known and influential brand that always strives to innovate. In 2023, they made a big change by updating their logo with vibrant blue and creamy ivory colors inspired by Vietnam's diverse culinary culture. This smart strategy aims to attract the attention of young consumers while still keeping their existing customer engaged. The visually appealing design helps Vinamilk's brand stand out and catch the eye of customers. Moreover, this modification expresses the ambition to go global of Vinamilk because the minimalist design style utilizing strong visual effects through colors, contrast, and impactful fonts is currently a trend in the food industry's design and is favored by potential markets worldwide. So we understand the way semiotics help to express the brand identity, but brand communication doesn't stop at just expressing identity. In today's globalized world, brands face the challenge of appealing to diverse markets while staying true to their core identity. And this is where semiotics come to the rescue again. Semiotics help to find a balance between globalization and localization. In the field of semiotics, we can observe the significant role that cultural factors play in the presentation of meanings and how they are perceived by the audience. The substitution and realignment of cultural units in semiotic performance are similar to translation. When an international brand or organization wants to reach people in different parts of the world, they create multicultural advertisements. This involves making adjustments to various elements of their brand communication, such as language, the ethnicity of actors, and even symbols and icons. By doing so, they aim to better connect with the specific cultural backgrounds and values of their target audience. Beginning with the essence of the brand as the signified, marketers can develop a variety of brand representations that navigate the balance between the brand's intended meaning and how it is interpreted locally. We can see it clearly through Olympic Games brand logo and the way host countries translate it. The Olympic Games is famous for 5 multicolored interlocking rings. When the Chinese hosted the Olympic Games in 2008, they embedded the rings in imaginary representing the Chinese arts, crafts, and culture. The running figure takes the form of a red seal reminiscent of those used on ancient Chinese calligraphy. The Canadians, for their part, appended the Olympic Games logo in 2010 in culturally sensitive symbols, including the Inuit symbol for peace, the Inukshuk, and also colors symbolizing that nation's natural resources, including the sun, mountains, forests, islands, and the marble leaf. These cultural symbols represent disparate worlds and values. However, each visual system translates the fundamental message of the Olympic rings, namely that the games serve to bridge differences among people across 5 continents. Another example is KFC classic slogan, "Finger licking good." It shows that KFC is so delicious that it makes customers want to lick their fingers. When this brand comes to Vietnam, this slogan was translated to "Vị ngon trên từng ngón tay." This version is kind of work that delivers the main message of the original version, and local customer can understand easily. This slogan became famous in the Vietnamese market. Not all the brands can do the same thing. When entering the market with the largest population in the world, China, Pepsi used the slogan, "Come alive with the Pepsi generation." However, this sentence was accidentally translated into Chinese as, "Pepsi brings your ancestor back to life." This is truly a joke on the Chinese belief in ancestor worship, and this is unacceptable. In conclusion, semiotics help bridge cultural gaps and strike a balance between global and local communication. By understanding cultural factors, marketers can create multicultural advertisements that connect with diverse audience.
Next, semiotic can transmit effectively messages to a diverse range of audiences of different backgrounds, enabling them to interpret and understand information in ways that are meaningful to them. In media, semiotics can help us choose, design, and evaluate the sign and symbol we use in our content to create effective media messages. It can also help us avoid misunderstanding, misinterpretation, or controversy that may arise from using inappropriate and insensitive sign and symbol. For example, when we want to convey a message about environmental protection, we use the color green, symbol of leaf, tree, earth, images of clean water sources, of trash cans, or 3R symbols. We also mention words like recycling, pollution, savings, energy, sustainable development, or biodiversity. Imagine when there are two people from two different countries with two different cultural backgrounds discussing environmental protection. By using the above, they will understand the same without causing any misunderstandings. When we talk about semiotics in advertising and marketing, to effectively convey messages to consumers, advertisers and marketers can use symbolism, symbolic association, cultural correlation, or persuasive communication that encourages them to believe that a product or service will somehow enhance their prestige, their lifestyle, and is relevant to them. From there, it motivates them to purchase it. For example, a luxury brand use lavish, elegant symbols that make consumers believe that the brand is trustworthy. Or when a brand wants to launch a new product in Vietnam, they will build a campaign or make an advertisement competitive with the value, concept, or belief of Vietnamese people, using Vietnamese cultural image, patterns, and colors, or collaborating with cultural ambassadors to establish a new relationship between brands and Vietnamese culture. I got an example. Sugarless of Chupa Chups. Promoting its sugar-free treat, Chupa Chups use a bit of humor showing ants that are actively avoiding their lollipop because it doesn't have the sugar. But considering the situation in Vietnam, on social media, people spread this photo with caption that the lollipop contains chemical sugar or is so poor quality that ants don't want to eat this. According to Vietnamese belief, encountering animals such as ants or worms in food prove that the food is safe. So if the ant don't eat it, humans cannot eat it. This cultural difference will cause advertising fail without careful market research. Semiotics also create an emotional response. There are two systems at play, our emotion and our rational thinking. Emotions always overwhelm rational thinking, while symbols have a great impact on emotion. Therefore, advertiser and marketer use semiotics to appeal to the heartstring and induce us to make decisions based on emotion. We can find it easily in all new Honda Evolate, You're the Chase advertising. Honda Evolate's car ad showcase a sleek, luxury vehicle driving through high buildings, winding roads along a breathtaking landscape. The car attracts all eyes and makes everyone chase immediately. The contrast of the chaos of the people outside and the comfort of the people inside the car creates a cool and interesting feeling. This setting conveys a sense of freedom, adventure, but luxury with a stylish and comfortable bonus. The combination of the sportive car design and the picturesque scenery appeal to viewers a design for exploration and a comfortable lifestyle. In the context of entertainment, including films, television shows, music videos, and other forms of media, semiotics are employed to communicate meaning and evoke specific response from the audience. We easily encounter application of semiotics in films. Semiotics help the filmmakers convey a message or represent a society by reflecting or manipulating reality in films. Filmmakers use various techniques in the film, like the clothes the characters wear, the location where the story takes place, the colors used in the set, and how the actor moves to set the stories that bring about these hidden messages to films. If you are an audience of the movie Parasite, you are probably no stranger to the way the scene is arranged. The lighting and the color have many layered meaning. Through semiotics, director Bong Joon-ho has installed countless messages such as the gap between rich and poor expressed through image of status, body order, or lifestyle. The tendency to favor America through the Park family's house, or the parasite's life of social classes throughout the film story. In addition, we can easily find semiotics in music. It plays a significant role with various elements used like lyrics, harmony and melody, rhythm and tempo, instrumentation and production, or artist personal and branding. For example, minor key are often associated with sadness or melancholy, while major key convey a sense of happiness or positivity. Fast, upbeat rhythm often convey excitement or joy, while slower tempo can evoke a sense of calm or introspection. The use of acoustic guitar and folk-inspired instrumentation may evoke a sense of authenticity, while electronic synths and futuristic sounds can convey a modern or futuristic vibe. In politics, semiotics has a relationship with the prevailing control in an area due to signs and patterns of political communication. Semiotics is used in a message as well as to be sent to the public. For example, the use of the red "Make America Great Again" caps during Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. The color red is associated with power, passion, and Republican Party affiliation. The phrase "Make America Great Again" carry a message of nostalgia, promising a return to a perceived better time in American history. The use of capital letters and the bold font emphasize the assertiveness and the strength of the slogan. And finally, semiotics help also to research and discover the new flow of insight. Semiotics play a crucial role in research by providing a framework and methodology for analyzing signs, symbols, and meanings in various fields of study, such as cultural studies, media and communication studies, linguistic and language studies, consumer research, political and social science, branding and marketing research. Semiotics analysis can also aid in discovering trends and insights within a new flow by examining signs, symbol, and language in media. It reveals underlying biases, value, and framing technique used in news coverage, enabling a better understanding of information dissemination and potential hidden agendas. In market research, one example of semiotics binary analysis is looking at how advertisements portray gender. Researchers study ads from different industries to understand how masculinity and femininity are represented and how it affects consumers. One example could be the use of binary opposition such as softness versus strength or vulnerability versus confidence. Advertisement may depict women with delicate, smooth skin and convey the idea of femininity associated with softness and vulnerability. Conversely, men may be portrayed with rugged or tough appearance, emphasizing strength and confidence. This binary opposition aims to appeal to gender stereotype and societal expectation. By analyzing this binary representation, researchers can gain insights into how they influence consumer perceptions and purchasing decisions. This knowledge can inform marketing strategy, product development, and advertising campaigns to challenge or reinforce traditional gender roles and effectively engage diverse audiences.
Oh, finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to Semiotics for helping me navigate through all the ups and downs of love. It's because of that knowledge that we were able to reach this beautiful ending we have today. If you ever find yourself struggling with life's challenges, learn semiotics to conquer it. Yêu anh không?
Không.